Okay, this is a bit of a disclaimer. I am just gonna read this. I'm not gonna do anything fancy with it. The only thing I'm gonna have is visuals. Other than that, I'm just reading it, giving no shits. You know, it's kind of like a Yuri of the Wind kind of style, but it's Sonic.exe, so what do you expect? So here we go. Sonic.exe 2, Electric Boogaloo. And yes, this is what the website named it, not the author. Alright, here we go. It's been more than a year now ever since the Sonic.exe murders began to happen. So, Jesus. Great start, great start. And the police department still doesn't know who's doing it or why it's happening. The first murders looked as though the killer did a sloppy job at it, but over time the killings, or at least some of the guys back at the station thinks... I guess I should yell it. Back at the station thinks it's just killings, have gotten more elaborate. Bodies have been starting to look like the victims just dropped dead or there were disappearances. One thing is certain, all the victims seem to each have a burned/destroyed computer with some data from a game called Sonic.exe. Okay, so apparently everyone in this world are Sonic fans. I know a lot of people who aren't Sonic fans, and it's like, we can already see a lot of fallacies in the story to begin. Alright, let's continue. None of us have found any connections or clues that could help us learn why all of this is happening. Well, no, that's not true. There was one cop who may have uncovered more about the murders than we did. There's really nothing to come up with. It's not rocket science. You don't have to be Sherlock Holmes to figure this out. The guy's name was Derek Green, a really good detective, mainly because he was always teamed up with his sister, Chelsea. They were assigned to investigate the Sonic.exe murders. I just want to say I hate that name so much for a murder case. I should know because I was their boss at the time. They're both dead. Ah, Jesus. Sometimes I wonder if I should have helped them. Oh, I'm sorry, him. I don't know. Anyways. The boys have found Derek's diary when we investigated his apartment. He hasn't been in his home for weeks. The diary recorded all of what Derek found in his investigation. My God, did he write down a lot, especially after the chief of police took him off the case. And a lot of what he wrote down seems to connect a lot about what's going on with these murders. At least I hope he was onto something. Here's what Derek wrote. Okay, before we get to that real quick, there was no need for all these commas. That's very unnecessary. You could just put down a period after his investigation and then start off with my God as a new sentence. That would have helped a little bit. Alright, first diary entry. 7:30 p.m., September 15th, 2011. Happy birthday to me. I got this diary as a gift from my sister, Chelsea. This will certainly come in handy when we both do another investigation. So he's treating it more like an investigations journal than a diary, but okay. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Name's Derek Green. I'm a detective, and here we go. You're telling your diary your name. You're not Doug Funny, Derek. Just letting you know that. Wow. I'm not early. That's what it actually says, RLY. I guess it's early or something. I don't know. Good at this. Hopefully I'll get better as I write in this. Anyways, I'll let you know if anything else happens. I'm pretty sure your diary wouldn't be the first thing you go to if you find out something new about the case. I would go to, oh, I don't know, your boss? 11:22 a.m., October 24th, 2011. Wow, pretty interesting way to start off a case on Halloween. Our boss told us there's a stiff in one of the local suburbs, and he wants us to check it out. Wow, been a while since me and Chelsea tackled a murder case. This might be interesting. We're in the truck right now, and we're heading for the house. Okay, 2:30 p.m. This is going on in the same friggin' day. Jesus. Whatever happened in this house I was not expecting. The victim looks like something ripped his mouth open and tried to yank something out from the inside. I've seen a lot of messed up ways to kill a person, but this is rather strange. I don't really think any normal person would do this. The cop present at the crime scene told us that the kid was The kid was like this for 2 days, and his parents just discovered his body and called us in the morning. What's really weird about this is that there's a badly made cut on his chest that's shaped like the number 1. You know, every time I hear that, like, you just, like, have a number or something like that, I'm just thinking straight out of Silent Hill 4 with Walter Sullivan. Chelsea told me she found a possible clue to the murder. She showed us that the victim owned a computer. The computer is badly burnt and wrecked. Both me and Chelsea have a theory to this. Either the killer destroyed the computer or the victim did it himself. Either way, we sent it to the station for research. Okay. So, you think the first thing that a murderer would do to like take away evidence is destroy a computer? That's like slitting someone's throat with a knife, and then you just take their can of beans and run to hide the evidence. That's not really how it works. 6:10 p.m. All right, the guys from the lab have their report. They told us that the computer's wrecked from inside and out. And what I mean by that is that everything that was on this kid's computer is completely deleted, while at the same time the computer got destroyed. Well, no shit. The only thing that seems to still be in the computer is some data from a computer game called Sonic.exe. Hey, here we go. 4:30 p.m., November 11, 2011. A couple more murders these last few weeks. All the same killing method. Dead bodies, torn open mouths, destroyed computers. The more recent killings are looking less messy, in quotes, as if the killer is being more careful with tearing out whatever it is he's tearing out from the inside of these victims' body. Okay. You didn't have to say tearing twice, you know. There are also cuts on these victims' chests that seem to be in numerical order. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The killer seems to be keeping count of all the people's killings. Okay, again, thinking Silent Hill 4, I'm thinking that's where the author got the inspiration from it. You know, like the, I think it was 17 sacraments in Silent Hill 4. But anyway, let's continue. We got a long read ahead of us. And this is just going to be one part, it's not going to be multiple. So I hope you got everything ready for you. I'm sorry to waste your time with this. 8:30 p.m. Had dinner. Both me and Chelsea are brainstorming with what's been going on. It's really strange. The fact that computers are getting destroyed every time there's a murder victim, and we find that there's some old data from the same game. It's not really strange. That's very coincidental, and it seems to be connecting. Sonic.exe. That name reminds me of all the times me and Chelsea played some of our old Sonic the Hedgehog video games. I think I said Hedgehog. I really don't care. I remember when we used to play Sonic Heroes. She always liked playing as Rouge the Bat, and I always liked playing as Vector. But it's weird. What does a Sonic game, a possibly fan-made one at that, got to do with all these killings? Oh man. You want to play a good fan game that's based around Sonic.exe? I think it was called Just Another Sonic Hack, where it's like a mixture of the regular and Sonic.exe. It's actually really good. Okay, 2:45 p.m., December 2nd, 2011. Another murder. Big surprise there. But now both me and Chelsea agree that should be both Chelsea and I, or just be Chelsea and I, agree that all these murders are connected with that game. It took him this long to figure it out. Maybe the killer made it as his calling card. Jesus. The chief told us not to worry so much about a simple video game and just stick with what's going on with the murders. Oh my god, this is like the most like dense like police chief ever. Alright, 6:30 p.m. Autopsy came in again. The doctors told us that aside from the wounds from the chest and mouth, the victims don't seem to show any signs of a murder or a struggle. In fact, as baffling as it seems, all the victims appear to be in perfect health, apart from the fact that they are dead. Oh, Jesus, you did not need that. You did not need to add that in that paragraph. I air checked the word dead because that's where the report came out really disturbing. The doctors stated that they're all in what appears to be in a persistent vegetative state, meaning that these people are in fact still alive. Their brains and hearts are still working, but they're all in an empty, dead-like state, as if something robbed them of their minds or sense of self. Sense of self. Well, here's the other thing. If their mouths are torn apart, you would suffer from blood loss. And when you also have all these wounds that seem deadly, you would think that these people, I don't know what's the word, dead? These people are dead. Chelsea stated it was probably one of the freakiest things she's seen in her days as my partner, and I don't blame her. Who would be capable of actually stealing people's senses of self? It's like the devil is handpicking innocent people and robbing them of their souls for eternal damnation. Jeez. Alright. 5:42 p.m., December 14th, 2011. Chelsea has been acting very strange lately. She seems quieter at work, and whenever we go home, she goes back into her room. There really should be a comma next to that work, or just take out and put a period and capitalize the W in whenever. But, okay. I'm guessing she's just as determined to learning more about this case as I am. If she's onto something, I hope she lets me know first before we make it official. After all, we are a team. You could have just put "We are Sonic Heroes" in there. There was a perfect opportunity for that. 2 o'clock p.m., December 19th, 2011. Chelsea didn't go to work with me. Said she wasn't feeling well. I'm starting to get a little worried for her. Ever since we took this case, she's been acting rather odd. I don't know. Maybe I'm overreacting. Boss told me not to worry about it, and maybe just look into what she was researching on. I might do that. Also, several news about people worshiping this guy recently. Calls himself X. I swear, the things kids will be into nowadays. You know, in hindsight, you would think that someone named X might be connected with .exe, hence why X is actually in the name. But, okay. 9:30 p.m., December 24th, 2011. Almost time for Christmas, though I don't know if I should celebrate. Chelsea's been shut up in her room almost every day. Not responding to me. I hope she's alright. Anyways, I've been looking into Chelsea's work, and I think she might have found something. Apparently the killer must be going after anyone who plays the Sonic.exe game. Well, no shit! And once they play the game, the killer tracks them down, kills them, and keeps count by carving the numbers onto their chest. But what about the fact that almost every victim looks as though they had their soul sucked right out of them? Wait a minute, I just remembered something. A few days ago, Chelsea came home from the store and went back into her room. She says she found a new game. Oh my god, Chelsea! Why do you're gonna put that in your diary though? Like, I think if you wanted to make it a little bit more suspenseful, you could have just said like she found a new game and then just ... and then just end it there, because then people are gonna realize like, oh shit, something's up now. 12:32 a.m. The writing is a bit sloppy and there are tears splotched here and there. Chelsea is dead. She found the game. Oh my god. Why? Okay. 4:50 a.m. December 25th, 2011. I called the guys back at the station to help me move Chelsea. Oh god, why? Why her? Did the killer found out and try to cover his tracks? No. It doesn't look like anything was taken or destroyed. Well, except for the computer. And the game is still here. I wanted to keep it to find out why this had happened, but the chief demanded I hand it over to him. The way he asked for it is really odd. It's as if he doesn't want me to do anything to this game disc. The funeral for my sister will be prepared in a few days. I can't believe that Chelsea, my own sister, is gone. When I find out who killed her, I'm gonna make sure he pays dearly. 4:50 p.m., December 28, 2011. Came back from the funeral. God, am I a mess. Thankfully, Boss was there for me. He's the only person who's ever supported me in Chelsea. I'm glad he's on my side about this case. A woman came to me in the funeral party. Her name is Shannon Goldman. And she was supposedly a representative for the Cult of X, as she called it. That's right, we got a cult story. She told me she was sorry for my loss and pulled out some weird religious crap about X, wishing me a happier year. Seriously, who is this X guy anyway? She told me that soon X will make things better for the whole world, which pretty much ended the conversation right there. That woman is crazy. Anyways, more news about the Cult of X doing more crazy stuff. Oh, that wacky cult! Wow, whoever this X guy is, he's making as much of an impact on the public as the killer is. Oh, Jesus. It really doesn't occur to him that X is the killer. 2:20 p.m., January 2nd, 2012. Another murder. Jesus, this guy never has a break with this, does he? This is like the 22nd killing. This is like the 22nd killing? He didn't put the number on his chest this time? What is he trying to gain from killing all the people? And how the hell is he getting away with it so goddamn easily? I gotta know what it is Chelsea was finding. She was onto something, I just know it. Maybe if I looked around in her room, I might find a clue. 5:30 p.m. Well, whatever Chelsea found, she left a lot of good clues for me. The computer isn't entirely broken. In fact, it seems like it only got beat up a few times, but still surprisingly works like new. I'm actually surprised I didn't see it like this at that night. But then again, if you lost someone you love, you too would lose sight of very important details surrounding you. Anyways, I checked the computer and there's an icon for the Sonic.exe game on her desktop. My god, how the hell did Chelsea ever get this? I guess it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. What's really important is what I found in her notes. Jesus, this guy needs to get his priorities straightened, man. Apparently, Chelsea was terrified of this game. Something from the game scared the crap out of her. In fact, according to what she wrote down, she made it seem like the game is cursed or something. But that can't be the case. There's no way a computer game would harm anyone. Right? Yes. 7:12 a.m., January 3rd, 2012. Okay, I changed my mind. Maybe there is something spooky about the game after all. Last night I had a dream. No, a nightmare. More like, I remember it well. I was trapped in darkness. All was quiet except someone was laughing and talking to me. Sounds like Kingdom Hearts. I kept having visions of Sonic the Hedgehog smiling and appearing all around me as he talked to me. He told me to play the game, over and over again, each time sounding more impatient. When he got to my face and yelled, "Play it!" that's when I woke up with a fright. Why would Sonic want me to play a game that possibly killed my sister? That kind of sounds like Sonic Team in general. Why does Sonic Team want us to play games that might kill us? I mean, there was also a big red button with Sonic Boom, but that's beside the point. 3:30 p.m., another murder, number 24, and the Cult of X seems to be pestering the public more and more. What's their deal? Don't they realize that there's a killer on the loose? Wait a minute. What if this X weirdo is the killer? Now he finds out. It would make sense. Ever since these murders started, this cult has been hanging around recruiting more and more people. And this X character they're worshipping, who is he? Why is it that this cult even started after several murders have taken place? I looked over Chelsea's notes again, and she seemed to agree with me. Apparently, X has something to do with the Sonic.exe game. No shit. Did he make the game? Is he somehow got a hold of it and thought, hey, if I kill people with this game, people will like me? I think that would be way beside the point. If what X is doing is real, then something is seriously wrong here. Again, no shit. 6:30 p.m. Unbelievable. The chief of police came over to my apartment a while ago and told me the investigation may be too much for me to handle, and he said I was off the case. What the hell? I practically found a lot of evidence for it, and he practically told me I shouldn't continue on. He also said that Chelsea would have wanted me to quit it with this after what happened. Bullshit. Whatever. I'm not gonna let some fathead stop me from solving this case. I am gonna find out who X really is, why he's doing all of this, and I'm gonna turn him in. Okay, 5 o'clock p.m., February 8th, 2012. I am so sorry for that. No, I don't. It was fun. More murders. We're up to 28 now. The boss contacts me about it every now and then behind the chief's back. He told me that whatever is causing all these murders is one smart son of a bitch. I can't really blame him. You can't really blame him. As much as I hate to admit it, I have to give X credit for being able to kill 28 people so far. But he's not gonna get away with it. Anyways, I've looked over Chelsea's notes again, and what she wrote down before she got attacked was very odd. Nonsensical stuff about a Sonic plushie always watching her, spying on her. I never saw a Sonic doll in the apartment. Then again, I never questioned my sister's sanity. She was always the smart one in things, and it just pains me to realize how broken she was just before she died. I didn't tell the boss about X or Chelsea's notes. I know he won't believe me. Nobody will. I guess if you have to solve a case, you have to do it yourself. 8:30 p.m. Someone sent a friend request on my Skype. He calls himself Cole. He said he can help me with this case, but only if I can trust him. I really don't have a choice. Yes, you do! I'm willing to do anything to put an end to this. Anyway, Cole told me that first I had to get files of all the victims in the Sonic.exe murders. Again, I hate that name. That's what the news is starting to call them now, that the police has confirmed that the old game data in the computer is evidence. So you're saying that like we called it the Sonic.exe murders before, but now you're saying that that's what people are calling it now. Later on tonight, I'm gonna pay the station a little visit. Oh man, I forget, how much longer do we have here? We got like a little bit. No, we don't. We got a lot more. I am sorry for this, guys, but this is what's happening. This is what you all get. Jesus. Let's see. I missed my. I lost my spot. Wait. What? Okay, I found it. All right, 11:45 p.m. Jesus, what a close call. I just made it back from the station. I managed to grab all the files, and I had a run-in with the chief. He asked what I was doing back at the station. I lied and told him that I had to pick up a few things from my office and decided to take some time off. Thankfully, he believed me, but it's strange. The way he talked to me sounded like he didn't believe me in the slightest. Anyway, I got the files just like Cole asked. This person really liked putting anyways in this. I told Cole that all of the victims had the same occurrences. All of them were in a dead-like state, I hate that, as if their souls were taken out, that they were all numbered, and that each computer the victims had were somehow destroyed and had Sonic.exe inside the hard drives. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be able to know if Sonic.exe was actually in the hard drive since the computer is destroyed. I mean, unless you're just talking about the monitor and not the tower or whatever. Unless they're on a laptop, then yeah, you're kind of fucked. Cole said that there's a reason why all the victims had Sonic.exe in their computers. And boy, did I not like the answer. Oh my god, that just ruffles my jimmies. The cult of X is involved. Again, no shit. They're members after someone gets killed, steals the game disc the victim had at the time, and hides it away for a while until it shows up later on at a random place to easily obtain it. These random locations could be anything: a game store, a pawn shop, the black market, eBay, Craigslist, random yet seemingly harmless deliveries, anywhere that involves buying stuff. That way, when the next potential victim finds it, he or she becomes the new owner of the Sonic.exe game until X comes to kill them, and then a member of the cult comes to steal away the game disc again, and thus the cycle begins anew. I asked Cole why the cult is even doing this, and he told me that X, the bastard, is clearly some sort of holy figure to the cult, and they will do whatever it takes to be on his good side. What does they see in X anyhow? What does they see in that man X, son? Why is it that they like him so much that they're willing to be accomplices to murder? Or better yet, what kind of power does X have to strike so much terror into people that they'll do whatever he says? 3:30 p.m. March 1st, 2012. I couldn't hold myself any longer. I had to know what Chelsea found in that game, so I played it. It started off pretty basic with the classic Sonic the Hedgehog title screen, until I started it. Sonic, his eyes had gone black, and there were red glowing dots staring at me. Which, by the way, he is literally retelling it's actually telling like what happens when you start Sonic.exe. So prepare for a bit of a flashback. Anyways, when I got on the character selection screen, yes, this game apparently has one, I was shown the... Okay, I thought that was the period, I'm sorry. I was shown the character lineup. Shadow, Sally, and Rouge. Rouge was Chelsea's favorite character. I chose not to play as her out of respect for Chelsea and chose Shadow. That laugh. It sounded just like the laugh Sonic made in that dream I had. Here's the other thing is like he's expecting you to know what happened in Sonic.exe Part 1. So if you don't know about the Kefka laugh, well, you're kind of fucked. Unless you decide to go back to it, like the first one, I don't know why. The game started with a level title called Let's Play. And I was shown Shadow standing in what appears to be a hallway of mirrors, with a faint echoing sound of a piano playing a calm melody in the distance. I had Shadow walk down the hall, and every time he walked past a mirror, I was introduced to a more twisted, messed up version of himself in the mirror. His reflections, red markings, were oozing red as if he was bleeding, and his eyes were bloodshot to the point where they were red. When they're bloodshot, they're red to begin with, so that's very redundant. Bleeding and pulsating, and he had probably the most psychotic grin on his face. It's like I was looking at a walking fountain of blood. I had Shadow walk past the last mirror and the music stopped. Shadow was now walking down an empty, quiet hallway. I had this growing sense of dread in my stomach. And then Shadow stopped at one more mirror. He stopped right at it, showing his weird bleeding reflection. And then that laugh came again, and I saw that the real Shadow was slowly transforming into his reflection, bleeding and smiling. What the hell kind of game is this? And then Sonic appeared, with those black and red eyes, red tears coming down his face. He smiled as he looked at Shadow, and then the screen went black, and then came a message on the screen. It's not the outside that's important. It's who you are on the inside that really intrigues me. Which, by the way, the person speaking is X, so I am giving him that voice. I do not know why the first time I heard about this, I just decided to give him that voice. When it came back to the level, Shadow was sitting on the floor cradling in a half-fetal position like a child, just grinning that freaky grin. Then Sonic smiled as he looked at me, and then he lunged at Shadow, the screen going black with a loud pixelated screeching noise. Gah! I still feel like as if I could still hear it ringing in my ears. That laugh came again, and another message. You're learning more about this better than anyone, aren't you, Derek? What the fuck? How the hell does this game know me? This doesn't make any sense. It brought me back to the main menu, and I saw that Shadow was now in one of the TV screens looking as he did earlier, looking rather mindlessly happy. I had to turn the game off. My head hurts so much from all this. Was this Chelsea found? A haunted computer game? And now some guy is using this as an excuse to kill people just to gain a cult? I just don't get it. Why is all of this happening? Who is X? Who is X? Who is X? Sonic? Could have just referenced the anime right there when he kept doing that. 4:30 p.m. March 2nd, 2012. I've come to a conclusion. It's obvious that X is no ordinary human being. No shit. In fact, I no longer even think he's human. No shit. Cole fill me in about him. X is really called Sonic.exe, named after the game that's been causing all this trouble. Jesus Christ. It took like half of this of this like screen to finally figure that out. Cole Skyped me recently that Sonic.exe has been around long before the game did. I don't buy that. I asked him what X was exactly, and his answer unnerved me. Sonic.exe is a monster. No, not the monsters you see in horror films or video games. He is a real monster. And he's not just any monster, apparently. Cole told me that X is a supernatural being from another dimension. Oh, damn. How fucking crazy is that? Oh, we got the hijinks going on here. But it's true. It has to be. X has this power to control all of reality in his realm, and he is unable to do the same in our world because he can't enter it. So, but if he has Sonic.exe in the heart in this computer data, isn't that technically being in our world? So some time ago, someone made a game disc that would serve as a window between X's world and ours. Anyone who plays it gets a front row seat of what X's dimension looks like. And it is hell. Not literally hell, but pretty freaking close. Over time, after someone plays X's game, X sends out a plushie of Sonic to act as a spy for him. Oh my god. This is like one of those, like, putting a teddy bear with a camera on it, pretty much. Then when the time is right, X is able to open the window for a short time and pull people into his world where they are trapped forever. Why is it that I feel like that they would actually be the flickies or the animals instead of the actual characters? This is how he's able to kill people so easily without anyone noticing. He comes out of the computer, pulls the soul out of the person's body, and then goes back into the computer to retreat into his dimension. There, he can make the soul he captured his slave for all eternity. If I was told about this long ago, I would not have believed it. But now I'm straight up convinced. Everything Cole has told me is the truth so far. And right now, I am writing down all that he's telling me, just in case any of this information becomes useful. Just in case any of this becomes useful, it is useful! Oh man, we're almost done somewhat. I think like, what, 60%? I don't know. 6:30 p.m. Cole told me that he has to go. He'll get in trouble if he gets caught talking to me, but he says he'll Skype me again soon. Until then, I'm asked to write down the names of any potential victims this time. I'm also asked to keep an eye out. The cult is getting suspicious. 4:30 p.m. April 22nd, 2012. 29th murder and no word from Cole yet. I nearly escaped from a few members of the cult and anybody that might be involved. I can't trust anyone now. I need to stay in my apartment more often so no one finds me. But what if you run out of food? What if like you need to go out for something? What if you had to get your mail? The person killed this time was a middle-aged guy named Paul. He was very paranoid of the outside world and anything could traumatize the poor guy. Apparently, he had a Sonic Adventure 2 game to stay sane, and he always played as Dr. Eggman. I bet you X has made the poor man a vegetable in his world by now. May 4th, 2012. I just realized something. Why is it that the chief tried to get me off of the job? Why did he confiscate the damn game disc? Why has he been particularly intercepting me every one of mine and Chelsea's moves in this case? I'll tell you why, and here's why. He is in on this. He's working for the Cult of X. It's the only explanation. He took the game disc so that way the cult could use it to continue with the killings. But the boss, he can't be involved in this too. He's been mine and Chelsea's friend for years. No, I don't think he would ever go in on this. Matter of fact, I don't think he even knows about what's going on. Damn, Chief. Why would you do that? Oh, that you, Chief, you. When I uncover this conspiracy, I am ratting you out. I hate recording sick, but it's worth it for this. Okay, August 12th, 2012. Boss called. 2 more murders. 30 and 31. Some kid named Tom hanged himself weeks before he gained a package. You could have just put received, that would have been better. From his deceased friend Kyle. Ah, shit. Not surprisingly, they both played the damn game. Kyle played it first and passed it on to Tom before X got him. Kyle tried to put up a good fight against X, but he clearly was no match for the Fiend. So Kyle tried to warn Tom not to play the game, but Tom did anyway, and we already know what happened there. X used this as an advantage to mess with poor Tom's head, making him believe that his curiosity and wanting to help others was what caused his best friend's suffering. Tom tried to commit suicide by hanging in order to save himself from X, but apparently it failed. X is not only dangerous and powerful, he is downright sadistic and insane. He thinks that all the horrific things he's doing is all part of some silly game. X, you monster. Why are you doing this? What are you trying to do? Where are you trying to gain? August 24th, 2012. Played more of the game. Why? The level Sally was in was really odd. She was in what appeared to be an old, desolate city. The sky, a dull, dark mixture of clouds. Everything all dull, empty, and dead. No music. What was weird is how she was smiling. Maybe she found something good? No, that wasn't the case at all. Yeah, no shit. After I had her run and jump past debris, she reached the end of this level. X, was there. She smiled at him, and he smiled back. Then another message. See, I'm not such a bad guy, Derek. Then another. I can be kind when I want to. Then it showed X holding Sally's hand, smiling warmly at her. She looked different now. Her eyes were sewn shut, and her color palette seemed darker. Isn't that Sally.exe, by the way? Yeah, and I think that was from the same author too. I don't know, I forgot. X gently placed his hands around her head. I really do love humans, Derek. So much fun to play with. In fact, I guess you could say. Then it showed me a close-up of X with a wide, mad grin, violently snapping Sally's neck. She was still smiling as though she didn't feel any pain from it. They're the ultimate toy! I almost got gagged at that. That was my bad. I almost gagged at that. The main menu showed Sally, her TV screen, still in her darker state. She was still smiling. She can't have possibly enjoyed any of that. Okay. Suspension of disbelief, I guess. I don't know. 8:30 p.m. Cole just called me. He said that all the characters you play as in the game is all of X's slave, but it's spelled like EXE instead of just X. Consistency, where is it? Turned into horrific parodies of Sonic characters, horrific parodies, or at least turned into their favorite Sonic characters, and X sets them up with just an X randomly in each game to show us humans what's in store for us. Wait, oh god, no, I won't do it. I won't play the game. Just watch you harm her. X, fuck you. How are you able to yell and write that down in your diary? It's like eating and cooking your food that you're making. August 25th, 2012. More information on X. X has these 7 guardians rolling over his world alongside him. They are essentially extensions of X, EXE, himself, made from his power combined with powerful emotions of humans. Each guardian is named after the emotions they were born from. Kito, prayer. Aishu, sorrow. Gekido, I think? Rage. Kirai, hatred. You could just, no, I was gonna put Kita, but never mind. Kofuku, happiness. Kyofu, fear. Yukubo, desire. X created these beings to not only maintain order in his world, but to cause trouble in ours. They corrupt humans and make them more susceptible to X snatching them away by manipulating their emotions. I always read that as X snatching, like you just grab the person in an X formation or something. For example, Gekido could bring out your anger and make you violent towards others, while Yukubo could manipulate your desires and confuse you with what's reality and what's not. Also, Cole has informed me that X plans to one day permanently cross over to our world, so that way his reality will merge with ours and all mankind will become X's slaves for eternity. But how? How does he plan to accomplish such a feat? Cole thinks the cult is thinking up ways to make it so. But so far, none of their attempts have been successful. Apparently their knowledge in computers is not as superior as the unknown original creator of the disc. So wait, why is it that after disc it ends with one period, but then right after that there's ellipses? That's not needed, you just take those out. I asked why Cole knew so much of this. I don't know what compelled me to ask, but I'm guessing it's been nagging me for some time. Dear God, poor Cole. He revealed that he was a member of the cult of X, but he didn't like what he was getting into and tried to stop the cult. At least until X got to him first. Now he's stuck in X's world. He said he's lucky to have even found me, since the window is still here. Anyway, he's telling me that he has information on how to put a stop to X and the cult's plans. Which, that still doesn't, I still don't understand that. How is he able to find a stable Wi-Fi connection in X's world? If he's supposed to be in X's world, what's his Wi-Fi password? Was it like game or .exe? I swear to God, if .exe was his Wi-Fi password. The best way he knows how to stop X in his tracks is to destroy the disk. That way, his only way in and out of worlds will be gone, and he won't be able to cause any more trouble in ours. The chief still has the disk. I need to prepare on getting it back. Okay, we're almost done. We are almost done here. 8:42 p.m. X got Cole. I was in the middle of talking with Cole while preparing, and then we got disconnected. When it reconnected, Cole's username changed to X. X told me that Cole has been cheating, and he needs to be punished. And then he posted, "Ha!" over and over and over and over. God damn you, Sonic.exe. That's what everyone says when they either A, read the first one, B, read this one, or C, play the original game. My hand is still bleeding from shattering the screen, but I don't care. Not anymore. I'm pretty sure you're gonna get a lot of blood on them papers. It's time to end this. I'm gonna go get that damn disc and destroy it. If I don't write back after this final entry, well, let's just say that whoever reads this diary, please just find it as instructive as you can. Everything you've read in my diary is the truth. X is a master from another world, and the cult of X is conspiring to help him take over our world. This cannot happen. I hope that whoever finds this and tries to put an end to this madness. This is a game on a bigger scale. We are all pawns in an elaborate, chaotic game where the rules are being devised by the mind of a monster. We are all pawns. We are all cruel pawns in the game of life. Please do whatever you can, friend. He must be stopped. Goodbye, and good luck. Derek Green. I feel like he ran out of ink, so he just decided to write that all in his blood that was coming out of his hand. Okay, we're finally done with the diary, but we still have more to go through. We are like 80% done, I hope. Well, I think. I'm just looking at the scroll bar. That was Derek's last journal entry. He wrote this 3 weeks ago. Today is his birthday. And now he's dead. God damn it. I wonder why he acted the way he was during these horrible events. I was worried about my friend, but I never bothered to find out why at the time. I feel so stupid. Yeah, you should. Derek tried to fight this battle alone and I did nothing. I haven't heard from Derek in 3 weeks, but yesterday I got an email from someone named Cole. It was addressed strictly to Bob Richardson. That's my name. Now we know his name. I clicked on it, and it was an audio tape that was made September 13th. That was made a day ago before I got the email. I clicked on it. This is what was on the audio tape. Wait, if that was made the day before you got the email, so that means it was recorded the day before, and then you got the email? Because I'm pretty sure you can't get the recording and then you get the recording and then the email. You get the email first and then the recording. I don't know how that would work. Okay, so this is what the audio tape says. Recording starts. A man is grunting and yelling as two people are dragging him into the room. Derek, get your fucking hands off me, you crazy cultist freaks! And I feel like he was just thinking of Planet of the Apes. The sound of high heels is heard as another person walks into the room. Shannon Goldman. Isn't that what you would call the Christians and the Satanists, Mr. Green? Derek. Goldman! Struggling is heard. More high heels sound as Goldman approaches Derek. Goldman. Derek, why do you deny X? Don't you see what he's trying to do for everyone? He only wants to make our world as happy as he is. I honestly don't know what accent I'm doing. Really, I don't give a shit. Derek, quietly. Happy? More loudly. You think stealing souls and turning them into puppets is being happy? Our planet is not his toy box, you bitch! Goldman, more coldly. It's not your place to decide what X wants with humanity, Mr. Green. He is a divine being that wishes to make humanity happy by showing us the paradise that is his world and taking us from the wretched filth of a planet we've been forced to live on. Derek, struggling. Some of us actually like this planet, Goldman. X's world is nothing more than a prison. All X cares about is making us his plaything for all eternity. Can't you see it's not fair? Goldman, surprisingly angry. What do you know about what's not fair? Derek, more than you do, obviously. A loud slap is heard, and Derek falls to the ground. Goldman, quietly. You fool. X chose me to be his most loyal because he knew I never liked this planet. He knew I want to be rid of the stupidity humanity is causing. I'm perfectly okay with being X's slave if it means getting away from it all. Getting the peace I finally deserve after all this time. And if everyone's gotta go with me, then too fucking bad! Derek, chuckling rather shakingly. Whatever. It doesn't matter anyway. Because I'm going to stop you. Once and for all. Goldman. Oh, are you now? With what, I presume? Derek pulls out something from his coat. With this! Several gasps of murmurs are heard. Cole told me that the only way X can enter our world was to collect more souls is with this. Well, no more! And which, by the way, it could have just mentioned the disc, so that could have been a little helpful, just a bit of a writing tip. A loud snapping noise is heard. Silence is heard. Goldman starts laughing. Goldman. So Cole told you that, huh? Ha! A smart boy, but even geniuses tend to get their information wrong. Derek. What? What do you mean? Goldman. Easy. High heels again as Goldman walks across the room. It's true that X cannot enter our world unless someone places that disc into a computing system. What if you put that in a PS3 or a friggin' Xbox? But I'm curious, Mr. Green. The sound of Goldman pulling out something from her pocket. Goldman, whatever made you both think that disc in particular was the original? Derek, shakingly. No, that can't be. Goldman. A brilliant theory, I might add. But I'm afraid it's your last one, detective. The sound of a disc being inserted into a CD drive is heard. Derek, violent struggling and yelling is heard. No! No! Let me go! You can't do this! And then strange supernatural sounds are heard. And then the audio breaks up and distorts a bit. A new person walking into the room as Derek is screaming for his life. Hi, Derek! Derek. Which, by the way, that was X. And now Derek. No! No! X, more clearly. Ready for round 2? Then loud screeching noises are heard as the audio distorts more badly more. More badly more! Derek is screaming. Sonic.exe is laughing as there is a loud tune playing sped up and in reverse, and a loud, fast drum-like rhythm, booming loudly as the whole audio distorts and breaks up, finally ending in static. The audio tape ends. After hearing this, I've never felt so helpless. Both my friends are gone, taken from me. There's nothing I can do about this. I'm a useless cop after all. But I hope someday someone somewhere is able to put a stop to this. I don't know, hopefully there's someone to do what I failed to do. I have to hope. I have to believe there's a chance of winning this, because if there is no hope, no chance. Sonic.exe wins the game. And I am glad I am done. Jesus Christ. You know, doing the first story like 2 years ago, that was okay. Which, by the way, that's almost close to 6,000 views as the time of this recording. But Jesus, wow, this story. The fact that the author is actually like a narcissistic like prick about the entire thing, saying that like, oh, his is the best story ever. No, it's not. It's literally, I'm gonna say this right now, a piece of shit. This and the first one are pieces of shit. There are my 2 cents on this story and the end of Creepypasta April 2016. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm glad you stayed for the ride.